Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Ree of Fluid Fox Yoga and thank you for joining me today for this back bend camel flow. All you need is a mat and maybe a bit of padding for your knees in case you have hard floors or sensitive knees. When you're ready, I'll join you on your mat in a moment. So when you're ready, make your way into a kneeling position. And if this isn't comfortable, feel free to prop up, placing something under your hips or under your feet if you've got hard floors. Just resting your hands on your legs, softening the shoulders away from your ears, taking in a couple of deep breaths here. And breathing in through the nose. Just filling up the lungs and just feeling the front body start to expand and broaden. Maybe allowing the exhale to hit the back of your throat. And using that exhale just to soften. And from here, going to slide your hands a little bit closer towards your knees, and then you inhale, you're going to move forwards. We're going to take a cat-cow flow on our knees now. As you move forwards, inhale, lift the chest and the chin and just feel a nice stretch down the throat. As you exhale, round the back. Draw the shoulders in and tuck your chin under. Inhale, moving forwards. Exhale, moving at your pace, rounding through the back. And taking one more breath in, moving forwards, just broadening across the ribs, across the chest. On your next inhale, you're going to add in some arms. So goddess arms or goalposting the arms. Take the arms wide and start to externally rotate your palms out to the sides. As you exhale, draw the forearms together, turn the palms to face inwards and round through the back. And two more of these, moving with your breath. Last breath. And then just giving the legs some relief, bring yourself forwards into a tabletop. Just wait for the plane to go overhead. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips. And we're going to just take some circles now. Going to lean to the right, dip the arms, dip the chest down, look forwards. Inhale. Exhale as you lean to the left, around the back, all the way up. And again, leaning to the right. Inhaling as you dip the chest. Exhaling as you round the back. And changing directions, leaning to the left, dipping the chest, inhale. Exhale, push the floor away, round the back. This should feel really nice. Feeling the back open now. And it gets into the sides as well. Take one more circle to the left. Exhale, round, and then sit back down on your heels. And we're just going to warm up the wrist. You're going to turn the fingers behind you and place the palms flat down on the mat. And of course, You can adjust, you can bring the hands a little closer to your hips to make it easier, or you could make it more challenging, more intense by taking the wrists further forwards. Try not to put too much weight down on top of your wrists into your hands. Just sit back if you can. 3 breaths here. And just notice the sensations that start to arise. And then very slowly start to peel the hands off the mat, including the fingers, giving them a little stretch. And then we're going to very gently roll onto the tops of our hands. So the tops of our hands come down, fingers are spread. And again, try not to put too much weight into the wrists. Spread the fingers and try and straighten the arms carefully. And then as a little added stretch for the tops of your hands, start to pull the fingers in and open, and again close them in and open one more time, just being really mindful. And release. You can open and close the hands now and just loosen out the wrists. From here, come back into your tabletop. And what you're going to do is you're going to just draw the left knee forwards towards the top of your mat. Just slide the right leg back. You're going to fold over your left thigh, kind of like a one-legged child's pose. And you can rest your head on your hands, or you can come all the way down to the mat. However you want to move into this, take it gently at first. It's quite intense. One more breath here. And then slowly start to walk your hands back in towards your knees. Press the palms down and gently draw the chest forwards and up. Look forwards and try and press that right hip down. Now this might feel like a little stretch in the back. It might feel like a nice deep stretch in that right hip flexor. If you want a little bit more, just press up onto your fingertips, tent the fingers, walk them in a little closer, and again, just a little activation in that right hip, pressing that right hip down, lifting the ribs, chest, chin. And taking one more deep breath here. Tuck the back toes under and very gently see if you can press into your back toes, push the heel away and float the right knee up. Lower it down. And then maybe, just for a little bit of fun, press into your left knee or front knee, kick the heel away in the back foot and see if you can just focus on something and come into a little float here. And lowering back down, draw yourself forwards onto your left knee and slide your right knee now back in. And we'll switch sides, slide the left leg away. Sink down over your right thigh this time. And find a comfortable place to rest your head. And 2 more breaths here, just softening into that right hip. And then from here, slowly bring your hands in towards your right knee. And just keep the palms of your hands down to begin with. Pull forwards, use your fingertips, just draw the ribs, chest and chin forwards, pressing the earth away. Now, if you're not feeling this very much, you're very welcome now to come onto your fingertips, maybe walk the hands a little closer, engage that left glute and thrust that left hip down just a little bit so we've got nice, balanced, even hips. Soften the shoulders here, keep moving the chest forwards. And then tuck the back toes under, left toes tuck under. Keep the hands grounded to begin with and just see if you can kick that left heel away and float the left knee off the mat. It does seem like all the planes are flying overhead today. The only good day we get in July, and they're all out. And lower that back knee. And again, trying that balance if you want to. Just for a little bit of fun, press into your front knee, kick the back heel away, focus your gaze, your drishti, and just float your arms off the floor. Now one side's always a little bit wobblier than the other. Bring your hands down, draw both knees in together, and just take a little child's pose to release the tension in your lumbar spine. Send your hips to your heels. Feel free to wiggle from side to side a little bit. It doesn't have to be a static pose. I quite enjoy a little bit of movement, nice mobility for the back. And from here, we're going to reach round for our right heel with our right hand, and I'd like you just to make sure the knees are hip width apart. So taking hold of your right heel, just start to lean to the right, take your left hand off the mat to the right. Send your hips back towards your left heel, just get that nice side stretch down the left side of your body. Then pressing into that right heel, pressing into your knees. I'm going to lift into camel, very gently though. Start to thrust the hips forwards. And as you take the hips forwards, press into that right heel and just lift your left fingers all the way up. So notice how my hips, hopefully, are aligned over my knees. The chest is moving up, but my right shoulder is moving under. And as I exhale, descend down gently, hips to heels, move back round, child's pose. Swoop the left arm behind you, find your left heel and just switching arms. Traveling now over to the left, reach your right hand away, send your hips to your right heel. Nice stretch down the right side of your body. And then gripping onto that left heel, starting to thrust the hips forwards, and lifting the heart to the sky, and the sun has just come out for me. How nice. Right fingers lifting up. Keep those hips forwards, glutes on. Exhale, swooping back down through child's pose. Let's do that one more time on each side. Right hand now round to your right heel. Left hand now moving over to the right, swooping up to your camel, thrusting forwards. And then gently moving your way through child's pose, switching arms, taking hold of your left heel, thrusting forwards, maybe reaching up, maybe reaching back, and then transition down to child's pose to rest. And the arms can be by your sides here, whatever's comfortable for you. And then gently start to draw yourself up. Going to come up onto our knees and just realign knees under hips. And you can do two things. You can have the tops of your feet on the mat, or if you prefer for stability, you can have your toes tucked under. And we're just going to do a really gentle now camel pose. You're going to bring your hands to your lower back. And what I like to do, I like to support my ribs here. So I kind of bring the thumbs to touch. And as I inhale, I'm actually going to try and lift my ribs up. So trying to lift them out, off my lower back, out of my lower back. And as I do that, I'm taking my shoulders and elbows back. But I want to open through the front body. I'm going to engage my glutes as I do this. Inhale, draw the belly, the chest and the chin all the way up. Take the shoulders and elbows back. We're not dropping. I just want you to feel the opening through the front body. Exhale back to neutral. And again, one more time. Inhale, lift your ribs, belly, chest, chin. Draw the shoulders and elbows back. Glutes on. Exhale back to neutral. Really subtle movement, but incredibly strong. And just very gently come now back down to your tabletop, and we'll just untuck the toes if they're tucked and circle the hips. Just some little circles to alleviate the lower back. We'll be coming back to camel through the flow today, or a camel variation that I'm going to show you. When you're ready, tuck your toes under. Inhale, lift to your downward facing dog. Press back. Spread your fingers, index finger 12 o'clock. Soften through the knees. Draw your chin to your chest. Nice strong arms. Really almost trying to wrap the arms under so the eyes of the elbows are facing each other. Get that lovely long straight line from your wrists, shoulders to hips. Hips are high. Head is low. Heels are lifted. And you're bending those knees as much as you like. Add a bit of movement now. If you want to, pedal the legs, walk the dog. If you want to, you could sway the hips from side to side. I always love doing this. And this gets that side body, nice stretch down into the hips as well. Or you feel free to stay in stillness. Check in with your neck as well. Let's not forget the importance of our neck, especially when we're moving the spine. Looking left, looking right, I should say. From here, sweep the right leg all the way up to the sky and step the right foot between your hands. Left foot follows to the top of the mat, and just make sure your feet are hip width apart. Spread your toes, sink into your hips, into your knees, and take a forward fold. It could be a ragdoll forward fold here. You could be dangling. You could sway, you could stay still. Feel that tummy-thigh connection. And then make your own way up. Feel free to make a halfway lift, flat back, or feel free to just roll up to standing, Tadasana. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky, ground down through the feet. Don't lose that root connection. Inhale, lift, bring your hands Anjali Mudra to prayer. And squeeze those glutes just a little bit. Inhale, lift everything up. So that front body is doing the work again. Belly, ribs, chest, chin, fingers. Exhale to chair, Utkatasana. Spread your toes. Sink into your heels, send your bottom back. Pull your belly in, tuck the tailbone under, and just round through the lower back just to begin with. And enjoy that kind of opening and that nice feeling. Meanwhile, we're holding this awkward pose. Focus your gaze, find your drishti and float onto your toes. Pull the heels off the mat and smoothly descend, lowering towards your heels. And bring your hands down to the mat, framing your feet, tent the fingers. Inhale, forward fold, send the hips high. Exhale, draw the chin under. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. And you're just going to reach both arms now out in front of you. Spread the fingers, place the palms down. And I'd like you to just move your knees so they're behind your arms. So they could be as close to your armpits. They could be just down the backs of your arms. They could be near your elbows. But I'd like you to just bring them from out to
the backs of your arms. So all you're going to do is take a very grounded, supported root down crow, or preparation crow, or beginner's crow. Press into your hands, bend the elbows down. Keep the knees in contact with your arms and just pull your weight forwards. You're going to gaze down in front of you because the feet are grounded at this point. But I'd like you to now push the earth away and allow the toes to just stabilize you. From here, float back. Bring your hands onto the mat. Your knees can be wide now as you step back to your high plank. Stack shoulders, elbows, wrists. Grip the mat with your hands, your fingers, and dome through the upper back. Lower onto your knees, keep pulling forwards and make sure the elbows bend towards your ribs. Lower the chest before your stomach. Inhale, pull forwards to your cobra. Tops of feet stay grounded, press into your hips. Lift the ribs, lift the chest, gaze forwards. Soften the shoulders here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press back to child's pose. Exhale to rest. And inhale, pull forwards into your tabletop, tuck the toes, lift into downward facing dog. Exhale, send the weight back. Inhale, left leg floats. Point the toes so you get that lovely extension. Feel the left glute working. Press through both hands equally. Draw the left foot now between your hands. Help it there. If it doesn't quite reach, right foot comes forwards too. Both feet now hip width apart, and make your own way all the way up to standing. So again, rolling up if you like, or reaching the arms out wide and then bringing them up over your head. Find Anjali Mudra at the top. Reach to the sky, root down through your heels, through your toes, lift everything. Exhale to Utkatasana, send your hips back. Pull the belly in, tuck your tailbone under, gaze forwards. Soften through the shoulders, keep moving into your chair. Pull the heels forwards, come into your toe balance. See if you can maintain this. Sink into your chair as you lower your hips to your heels, nice and smoothly. Lower the hands either side of your feet. Inhale, forward fold, hips go high. Exhale. Draw the head down. One more breath here. On your next exhale, lower down. Creep your hands forwards and just extend your arms as far away as you can. Spread those fingers. Plant your hands down. Make sure the knees are now on the backs of your arms. Bend at the elbows. Draw the weight forwards. Maybe you float one foot. Maybe you float both, and gazing forwards now, if you wish, take a crow or stay in your grounded crow, whatever you prefer. Lowering back down, spreading the knees and bringing your hands onto the mat if they were off, stepping one foot back, then the other, high plank. And readjust, stacking your shoulders, elbows and wrists, protracting the shoulders, lowering onto your knees, keep pulling forwards, bring yourself down slowly, chest before tummy, pulling forwards again into your cobra. Push the hips into the earth. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, press back. Exhale, child's pose. And just relax here for 2 more breaths. Inhale, pulling forwards into your tabletop, tuck the toes, lift to your downward facing dog. Exhale, press back. Right leg lifts, extend the leg, point the toes, and then bending at the knee, opening that right hip to the side, send the right knee towards the sky. Press through both hands equally. Feel that nice stretch in that right hip. Lowering the right knee underneath you down to the mat. Just pivot the right foot to the left. Bring your left knee behind the right ankle, creating a figure of 4 shape with your legs. You're going to lift up. You're going to thrust your hips forward so the right knee is facing the long edge of your mat. You're going to bring your hands either to sort of scoop the ribs up again, lower back, or you can bring your hands to reverse prayer behind your back. Up to you and what your ability in your wrists is like. Draw the hands together, press the hands into your back, shoulders, elbows moving back, lift the chest, squeeze your glutes, and take a variation of camel here, opening your heart to the sky. Inhale, back up, release your hands down, find the floor, one hand at a time, tuck your left toes under, 3-legged dog, right leg lifts. Right foot steps between the hands. Inhale to runner's lunge. Frame your right foot, right knee over ankle. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, take a pyramid pose. I like to tent my fingers here. Push into that right heel and send my right hip back. Inhale. Exhale, fold over that right thigh. Inhale, runners. Gaze forwards. Left hand stays under left shoulder. Inhale, reach your right fingers to the back. Inhale, lift them up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring the right hand inside the right foot and shuffle the right foot now to the edge of your mat. Send your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Come down into your yogi squat, malasana. Hands to prayer. Elbows pressing the knees apart. Draw the chest forwards, heart to hands. And lengthen through the spine. 3 breaths here, breathing into your belly. And again, this doesn't need to be a static pose. If you've got particularly tight hips or this is just not your pose, then move to make yourself feel more comfortable and to open the hips a little bit more. I'd like you to release your hands down to the mat, turn the right toes to face forward. So you're going to lift the hips, pull the right toes in, and then float the left leg all the way up to the sky. Standing split now, staying on your right leg, draw the nose in towards your right knee, soften that right knee if you need to, rather than lock it. I like to tent my fingers, framing my front foot, lifting that left leg, extending the leg, pointing the toes, left glute nice and active. Then we're going to transition forwards now, bringing that left knee with us. Keep on your right leg, keep that balance. Draw the left knee through to the top of your mat. Right hand on left knee, we're coming into a little twist, send the left fingers back. Focus your gaze if you're feeling a bit wobbly. And then left hand to left ankle, moving into tree pose. So just bringing your left foot to the inside of your right thigh or below the knee. And we'll take a Shuni Mudra, bringing middle finger and thumb to lightly touch. So Shuni Mudra or Shunya Mudra is for patience. It's the seal of patience, awareness, understanding, and tolerance. And we could all do with more patience in our lives. Very gently release the left foot to the floor. Maybe give your right leg a little shake. Inhale, lift. Draw your hands to Anjali prayer. Inhale, lift a little bit more through the front body. Press down through your heels. Glutes on. Inhale to your chair. Exhale, sit back. Pressing down into your heels. Pulling the belly in. Inhale, float the heels up, find your toe balance. Exhale, slowly descend. Press your hands into the floor, framing your feet. Inhale, forward fold. Hips go high. Lower the head. Exhale, sink your hips back down towards your heels, and then you've got another option to take a flying crow, or if you prefer, just staying grounded and just working on the arm strength and just building up to it. Always good. Spread your fingers, draw the knees to the backs of your arms and get them in there and make sure that they are sort of not going to slide off. Pull your weight forwards, bend at the elbows, take your gaze towards the top of your mat or beyond and start to pull those toes in, round through the back. And slowly lower the feet down, bring your hands back onto your mat, step back to your high plank. Nice strong high plank, stacking shoulders, elbows, wrists, lower the knees, chest, chin, moving through to your cobra. Pulling forwards with the ribs, softening the shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push back to child's pose. And rest here just for 3 breaths. Inhale, drawing forwards when you're ready. Tabletop. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift down dog. Exhale, press back. Left leg floats all the way up to the sky. Point the toes and fully extend. Then bend at the knee, pull the foot to the bottom. Lift the knee towards the ceiling, opening that left hip now to the side. And then slowly lowering the left knee underneath your body onto the mat. Pivot the left foot to the right. Bring your right knee behind your left ankle. Now you can keep the right toes tucked, or you can keep that right foot flat on the mat. Lift yourself up. It's always a bit of a challenge, that bit. Coming into this camel variation on the other side. So again, you can take hold of your lower back and support your ribs, or if you prefer, you enjoyed the challenge, take your reverse prayer hands behind your back. Send them a little bit higher if you did it on the first round. Draw the shoulders and elbows back. On an inhale, thrust your hips, lift through the belly, the ribs, lungs, chest, chin. And open your heart. Keep moving your hips forwards. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring your hands down slowly to the floor. Tuck your right toes under. Inhale, 3-legged dog, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps between your hands. Draw forwards, round the back. Inhale, runner's lunge, look forwards. Exhale, take your pyramid pose. Press into your left heel. Send the left hip back. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. A little deeper. And frame your front foot. Inhale, runner's lunge, look up. Right hand now grounds down under your right shoulder. Reach your left fingers to the back. Inhale, circle the left arm all the way up to the sky. And exhale as you bring the left hand inside the left foot. Just shuffle the left foot to the edge of your mat. Hop your right foot forwards. Yogi squat, Malasana. Hands to prayer. Press into your knees. Draw your heart center towards your thumbs. Lift the crown of your head up, sink your hips lower, press into your heels. 2 more breaths. Lower your hands to the mat. Press into your hands as you lift your hips and turn your left toes now to face the top of your mat. Float your right leg up, standing split. Really extend that top leg, soften the left knee, point those right toes so the right glute is having to work really hard. And then from here, keep on that left foot and draw the right knee underneath you. Take your time as you lift up. And if you bring the foot down, don't worry. It's always a bit wobbly, that transition. Left hand onto right knee, lift everything up, focus your drishti and reach your right fingers back. Making your way into tree pose, right hand onto right ankle, bringing the foot to the inside of your left thigh or below the knee. Finding your shunya or shunya mudra, middle finger and thumb touch. For patience, which we need, awareness, understanding, tolerance. Slowly release the right foot down to the mat. Give your left leg a little shake. Let's move through one more vinyasa. Reaching high. Exhale to chair. Let's take our little toe balance before we fully come down to the mat. Pull the belly in and slowly descend with control. Hands either side of your feet. Inhale, hips high, take your forward fold. Maybe bringing the arms around the backs of your legs now, taking a deeper forward fold if you wish. Exhale when you're ready to the mat. Option to take one more crow if that's something that you want to practice, or you don't have to at all. You're very welcome to step back and take a plank. Continue to practice your crow if that's where you are now, or holding your plank for strong arms, core engaged. Lowering down slowly, knees, chest, chin. Pull the elbows in towards your rib cage. Keep pulling forwards into your cobra, lifting up. Keep moving the ribs forwards, shoulders back. Press the hips down into the mat. Exhale, descend. Inhale, press back to child's pose. Exhale, rest here. And just release through the back. Inhale, drawing yourself back up to your tabletop, making sure the knees are hip width apart. We're going to lift onto our knees now. We're going to tuck the toes underneath. To begin with anyway, it's a little bit more stable. Tuck the tailbone under so you start to engage through the glutes. And we're keeping our hips over the knees. I like to reach back with a twist to begin with and just make sure that I feel open enough to be able to reach for my right heel. I like then to glance down at my hips and just make sure my hips are stacked over my knees. Once I have my right heel, I'm going to start taking a little bit of weight in that hand, in that foot. Meanwhile, the hips are not moving. And then I'm going to just very gently open my chest towards the sky. So then everything starts to straighten out. So I'm bringing my left shoulder back. My right shoulder's pulled underneath me. I'm bringing my left hip back. And everything is facing upwards. And as I find stability here, I start to reach my left fingers all the way up to the sky. Just keep the hips forwards. Maybe that left hand starts to reach back. Inhale, lifting yourself back up, and just bring your hands to your hips, untuck your toes, and sit back on your heels. Tuck the tailbone under, pull your core in, just to release through the lower back. When you're ready, inhale, lift back up, tuck the toes. We'll do the other side. So reaching round, I'll just turn round actually. Feet hip width, knees hip width, reaching round for your left heel this time with your left hand. And again, just glancing at your hips, taking the weight now down into that foot, hips forwards, starting now to open hips, belly, chest, shoulders to the sky, reach up with your right fingers. Inhale. Maybe you exhale, reach the right hand back. It's hard to talk. Inhale. Inhale, rise. Untuck the toes, hands to hips. Exhale, sit back down, tuck the tailbone under and just neutralize your spine and ease through the lower back. Feel free to rock from side to side. That can help release that tension. So this time, you're very welcome to try it one more time on each side, or both with toes tucked, if that was more preferable. Feel free to try it with toes untucked. If you see, it's a little lower, so it's a little bit more intense on the back, but the options are there for everybody. And if you're very happy, you could reach back with both hands, keep those hips thrusting forwards, glutes on, draw the shoulders back underneath you, and just imagine someone has attached a piece of string to your chest and is lifting your chest forwards. Inhale to rise. Feel free to do the other side and then gently descend. So for those doing the other side, we're just going to rest here whilst you catch up. Or feel free to do another camel. Up to you. From here, you're going to slowly make your way onto your backs. Once you've had enough camel, back bend, come down onto your back, onto the mat. And very gently draw your knees into your chest. And then when it starts to feel a little bit more comfortable, start to wrap your arms around your knees, embracing them now, giving them a nice tight squeeze. And then lowering the back of your head down onto the mat. Feel free to gently rock from side to side, start massaging the lower back. Keep going, just ease the tension away, letting it soften again. Take the knees a little wider now. And then maybe taking a happy baby or staying where you are. It's up to you. This is also really nice. You could bring your hands down the insides of your legs to your ankles to begin with. This just keeps the back in check and keeps it grounded. So just make sure hips, middle, lower, middle, upper back, and the shoulder blades are down. Flex your feet, grab hold of your ankles, and just send the heels, the soles of your feet to the sky. Separate the legs here, let them be wide, and just draw the shoulders back if they've lifted off the floor. Soften the elbows. If this feels comfortable, you could rock here. But if you want a little bit more, send your hands to the outer edges of your feet or the insides of your feet, up to you. And again, just root down through the shoulders, soften the elbows. Feel free to continue rocking from side to side because it does feel really nice. Breathing now into your belly, you've got all that space, and we have been opening the front body, so we've got all that space now to fill with air. And maybe as you breathe, it's not just your belly that expands, you also expand through the diaphragm, so you're working that muscle, and you're working around the sides and the lower back as well, so the entire middle and core can all expand. And lower back. Let's take one more deep breath. And slowly draw the knees in together. Feet come down. Open your arms out into a nice big T shape, palms facing the sky. And send your knees to the right and then to the left. Just window wiping the knees now to loosen through the hips, and again just softening that lower back. Let's take 3 more on each side. And then to finish, take any final stretches that you wish to take. So you might want to, again, just curl into a little ball. Perhaps you want to take a full body stretch now. And then make your way into Shavasana, your relaxation posture. Making sure you're comfortable. Ground down through the spine, through the back. Tuck the tailbone under a little bit and draw your chin into your chest. And your arms can stay out to the sides, palms up. Or you could bring your hands somewhere onto your body if that feels good. And you can stay here for as long as you like. This is the best bit. When you're ready, and if you want to, start to draw yourself over onto one side, curling into a little ball if you wish. Pausing there just for a moment, balancing the blood, and then rising when you're ready. Make your way into a comfortable seated position of your choice. Cross-legged, you could be on your knees, you could have the legs extended out in front of you. And just rest your hands somewhere on your legs, maybe. Then we're going to bring, excuse me, the middle finger and thumb to touch. So we're taking our Shuni Mudra again. The rest of your fingers can be soft. And just sealing in that patience, that feeling, that energy into the body. And when you're ready, bring your hands to prayer, connect your hands to your heart center, bow your head, give thanks to your body, and maybe think about the aspects of your life where you could bring more patience. Or maybe there are people in your life that you could be more patient towards. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that flow. I hope your spine feels invigorated and you feel wonderful. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And don't forget, practice a little bit Shuni Mudra for patience now and again. If you would be so kind, please subscribe to my channel to support my content. Please like this video. And until next time, take care and I'll see you soon.